Hello, Brother Monroe here. Welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts and back to Taskmaster Tuesday and another 1v, well, not quite a 1v1, it's actually a 2v2, but me versus Stealth. And again, we have sent each other our designs. Now, this is my design, which you might be thinking that's HMS Hood. Well, sort of. So I'll take you through the design and kind of how I set things up. So if you saw last week's, you'll know how this is going, but if you haven't, so this is the ship I will be using myself, and this is also the ship that the AI is going to be using in Stealth's battle. So we both have two battle cruisers. Now this is the Collingwood. She's not fast for a battle cruiser, 29.1 knots. You might be saying, is she even a battle cruiser then? Well, I'll leave that fun debate to the comments. Many bulkheads, I didn't go for maximum. Just to save weight, I wanted a little bit more armor. Because in our battle last week, Stealth had quite good success against the all-or-nothing kind of scheme with HE. And I thought perhaps, you know, he's going to try and go for an HE spam build because he was talking about that in his video. Again, I've gone for a wide but shallow ship for the extra stability and the lower target profile. Veteran crew, fairly obvious. I did, however, go from cramped to standard quarters. I never actually... I always just thought this is just extra weight and this is a campaign thing before. But when I was watching my ship in Stealth's video last week, I noticed and was listening very intently to Stealth talking about why he thought that was a disadvantage. And it did, in fact, make a difference because as soon as I started taking hits, I started losing crew, lowering accuracy, and so on. So I thought, let's eliminate that particular flaw. And so I've gone for standard quarters this time. Very usual engine setup from me. Protection, I did go for an anti-torpedo belt this time. I didn't last time because I figured that Stealth wouldn't be using torpedoes, and I knew I was, so I didn't bother. But I thought, well, maybe, just maybe. There's something. I'd originally, when I was going through the build process, I actually went with a anti-torp 5 for a while, but it was just too heavy. So it ended up getting reduced down to a 3, which 3 plus triple bottom means, you know, if I take a stray torpedo, I should survive. I won't sink instantly. That was my thinking. Rest, very, very standard for me. Guns, again, very standard setup. In terms of the shells, super heavy, tube powder, TNT4, cap ballistics. Also went cap ballistic on the HE. Just because if I'm firing HE, I might get some HE pens, which can be pretty devastating. So I went for those, just a bit of an experiment. Normally with tube powder ships, I'll go for high capacity or a nose fuse, but that's if I'm facing destroyers. I know at this point I'm facing a capital ship, so I went with the cap ballistic HE shells as well. Millie, shush. Don't know why she's decided to join Taskmaster this week, but she has. Different to my normal setup, though, I've gone for auto-loading electro-hydro turrets. So battle cruisers can sometimes end up doing some quite violent maneuvers, and I wanted to make sure I had a high rate of fire on these 16-inch guns, not 20s like last week. The reason I went for the 16s, I could have gone for a 17 or an 18 Mark II, but the weight becomes really prohibitive, and this hull in particular likes 4-gun setup, so I went for the 16s, which I think is plenty of firepower. 8 16-inch guns on a battle cruiser should be enough, I hope. Coincidence 5 rangefinder and Gen 2 radar, nothing spectacular there. And as before, I kept the hydrophone just in case Stealth decided to bring torpedoes. Armor-wise, though, I changed things up. I didn't use a pure all or nothing. This is more a distributed armor scheme. So 18. This is a very typical type of armor scheme for me. if you've watched my campaign videos, I quite like this. I found this to be quite effective. So 18.9 on the turrets should keep them relatively safe, and a 16.8 Citadel again should keep me relatively safe. But where I changed things up was I went for a much thicker extended armor scheme. 8-inch. I thought, you're going battle cruisers. Again, if Stealth has gone for an HE build, then he might be using, I don't know, 9-inch guns or something like that. So I thought, if I've got decent cruiser level armor everywhere, then, an HE spam approach hopefully is going to run into trouble, because, this is enough to block, hopefully, or just stop the HE round doing anything. That was my thinking. And the same kind of reasoning on the deck with the 4-inch extended decks. Just hopefully, shell hits them, goes poof, and does nothing if we've gone for an HE build. 4-inch on the superstructure, same basic idea. Try and prevent the towers getting damaged and being taken out by small guns. So you can see where I was kind of thinking Stealth would go, but to be honest, I those were kind of hedging my bets. I honestly thought he was going to go for a similar build to what I did. I was actually expecting 16-inch guns, and that's not at all what Stealth produced. This is Stealth ship, or at least my recreation of it. There are some slight differences in weight, price, and handling, but the handling's slightly better, the price is slightly higher, the weight's slightly lower because I had to drop the conning tower armor by 0.1 of an inch. But otherwise, very similar. I called this one the Guam. Interesting design, very interesting. Very fast, 40 knots. So 10 knots faster than me. Maximum bulkheads, reduced beam, which is interesting, presumably to get that highest speed. Veteran crew, turbo electric. So yeah, forced turbo electric ship should be very good at maneuvering and also quite hard to stop. Armor is pretty good, protection's pretty good, although standard bulkheads was a bit of a surprise. I'm not sure if that was intentional or a mistake, and I'm really curious to see Stealth's reasoning behind the choice to go standard bulkheads, because it's atypical for him, but I'm not going to mind too much. And again, atypical is that we have max HE, which is what I kind of planned for, an HE spam build, even going Cordite Dunite super heavy. But there's only 4 guns, 4 13-inch Mark IVs. So really not a hugely invested into the HE spam philosophy. No, what Stealth has gone with is torpedoes. Lots and lots of torpedoes. 22-inch fast torps with a single reload for all of them. Which realistically means, you can dump a whole pile out of one side, turn around, dump a whole pile out the other side, and then reload and repeat the process. Or just fire 4 salvos out of one side, which is not very nice. The only thing is, the range on those torps being fasts is 10 kilometers max, and realistically you have to get a bit closer. Now it does certainly have the speed to do it, and I certainly see where he was going with the armor scheme, because those guns, 17-inch face, 13-inch main belt, and 13-inch forward belt. So very, very, if you're looking on the ship like this, so if he's coming straight at me, if I hit this, that's 13-inch. Main deck here is 6. Forward deck's 3.2. So I might get some damage on some unimportant stuff here. Only, you know, 1.5 on the superstructure, 12 on the tower. Like, it's a pretty heavily armoured front. And it's not like the rest isn't unarmoured. There's no particularly weak sections of armour. But a 13-inch main belt against those 16-inch guns, that isn't going to stand up too well, I don't think. Or at least I hope not. But of course, the problem will be endless ricochets because the ship is coming directly at me. Now, of course, Stealth will be able to do that when he's controlling the ships. But of course, I'm fighting the AI. So perhaps I will be able to get some side shots in and deal with them that way. So yeah, basically a giant torpedo boat. And there's 2 of them. So I'm going to need to slow them down, stop them from getting within 10 kilometers. Yeah, try and get engine damage, flooding, stuff like that to slow them down. Because if I can get them below 30 knots, then and keep them out of range, then that'll be ideal. And at least, you know, I was worried going with a hydrophone against torpedoes, but when I saw they were fasts, like, these are relatively easy to spot, and there are a lot of them, which I think gives you more of a chance to spot them, because, you know, it's a big old splash when they all go in. So hopefully we'll be able to spot when these ships launch, or even better, stop them from launching altogether. Prices, by the way, 918 million, which is expensive. And I'm not sure where most of that comes from. I think that's from the turbo. Yeah, the turbo electric drive. Fabulously expensive thing. But as well, a huge amount on crew. And I also have, you know, a crew cost, which will be significant, but it's 10 times smaller. I'm just curious why there is such a difference. So my ship has a crew of 1,367. How much does Stealth have? 1,574. So there are more of them. Maybe it's the torpedo launchers, or maybe it is the turbo engine. I'm not sure, but one of those 2 is making the price crazy high. Anyway, enough chit chat. Let us get into it. 2v2. Collingwood versus Guam. Okay. I'm going to pause, and I'm immediately just going to split my ships. Got the smoke bug. That will disappear in a second. And we immediately have an angle, or we immediately have range on the enemy. It is a nice looking ship, even if I say so myself. I do like the look of a Hood-esque ship. Oh, no, decided not to shoot the guns. Right. Where are stealth ships? They're headed away. Interesting. So we have Collingwood and we have Lion. Okay. Must have gone out of range. I'm not too sad if they're going to be out of range. But yeah, here they come. Starting to come back. Starting to fire on them. I wonder if I can get a good shot on Lion, actually. Might be able to get both of them in the frame. So I really want our early hits, please. my initial accuracy like 4%. That's not terrible for long-range shooting like this. Oh, there we go. Very nice. Right through the main deck. Not a bad start. Of course, I don't mind being broadside on, but I do kind of want to kite away a little bit just to make closing the range a little bit challenging, although, yeah, with that massive speed advantage, it's probably not going to matter too much. They are returning fire. Ricochet. Accuracy much higher now, 8%. 2 more ricochets. That's that angling attack for you. Of course, I am also headed away, so I should get a better and better angle over pen. How are these ships doing? Not bad. This seems to be splitting up a bit. Still not quite sure what the AI is up to yet. Range is about 22 kilometers, so still pretty long range. Bunch of partial pens. Maybe afford to angle back a little bit. Oh my word. Okay, bunch of partials and an actual pen. Seems to be a mix of HE and AP coming out, which is quite nice. So I do have to be careful I don't run out of ammunition, which would be very, very bad. But yeah, the AI not careening directly at me. So with that in mind, I'm actually going to move, hopefully get a better angle on them. Yeah, there's the Guam. Range 19. More partial pens. Yeah. Slow them up. That's the plan. Guam down to 50% structure. Range 17. More partials. Oh, they did actually score a hit back. Collingwood took main deck partial pen. Well, sailing anti-parallel like this is not a good idea, but the AI is doing all sorts of manoeuvring, so it's hard to tell what they're up to. All partials. I'm surprised how much damage those partial pens have done. Of course, when I have got a full pen, they've done far more damage per hit, but those partials are certainly adding up. You know what? I don't think the Guam is the issue anymore. Concentrate fire on the Philadelphia, please. She closes to 16 kilometers. Yeah, still mostly deck hits. Start angling away a little bit. A pen. Good. How slow is Guam now? 30 knots. Okay, that's good. Destroyed torpedo. Lovely. Ricochet. Just the range. 12.2. So they are getting to torpedo launching range. Shoot them. Oh yes, lovely. Conning tower damage. There we go. Pens, flooding. More pens. Ooh. My word. Yeah, that's quite a lot of damage. Slowing down. Destroyed another torpedo. Hard to tell which one, of course, but... Or even if I hit a new one and not the same torpedo again. No engine damage, though. Those turboelectrics can be quite hard to knock out. Good damage, though. More flooding. Oh my Christ. Fucking hell. Out of nowhere. That aft belt pen. 500 damage. Yikes. Philadelphia struggling a bit with their structure. Ricochet, partial, more ricochets, lots of ricochets. It's not so good. Come on, she's close. I really need you guys to hit her, please. Right, HE, damn it. She doesn't have that much structure. Good angle. Even if it's just to set a bunch of fires to get that last little tiny bit of health off. All engines down. I think she is looking for a torpedo shot. She's only 9.7 kilometers away, but with me heading away, I'm not sure the torps have the range. It's for the AI to actually shoot them. Got her. Okay. Okay. Just the Guam. She's slower. I want Collingwood to turn around, actually. And Lion, wait to come a bit more broadside. Try and get her from two directions. Make it hard for her to angle. Ooh, nasty. Doesn't have that much structure left, though. Total miss. Oh, another pen. Flooding. You can really see though those turbo drives, they just keep going. And the ship's taking a lot of hits and a lot of damage, but isn't... There we go, finally getting some engine damage. All the engines are out. I love that you can see the shells ricocheting like that. It's very, very cool. Overpen. Not going to take her out. Line firing again. Doesn't have a good angle. Collingwood, though, I think does have a pretty good angle. Relatively speaking. Nope. Bunch more ricochets. Right. You're okay. I think Lion, try some HE, please. I think I might have selected that slightly too late. Can't tell. You run out of HE shells anyway. Destroy torpedo. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Fires might be enough to sink it. I can hear a salvo coming in from the line as well. Yeah. That is the end of the Guam. Well, certainly went according to plan, or at least my plan. I hope you enjoyed that. And I certainly did. Make sure you go and see Stealth's side of things, because, of course, a hard ship for the AI to kind of use correctly. I think, maybe, perhaps, I don't know. AI is pretty good with torpedoes, but then again, the AI is also very good at dodging torpedoes. So, go and have a look. Go and say hello to Stealth. And see how he did with doing this battle in reverse. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Bye for now.